Tonight, it's a mystery no more. We have the goods on the Google barge off Treasure Island.
It's a story you'll see only on KPIX5. A source familiar with a highly secretive project confirms it's been ongoing for more than a year. Spawned in the so-called Google X division of the company, cloaked in secrecy even from most employees, but personally directed by Google's co-founder, Sergey Brin. Essentially, a 4-story portable building constructed of interchangeable 40-foot shipping containers that can be assembled and disassembled at will. It's designed to be placed on everything from barges to rail cars and reassembled anywhere in the world. It could be at a ski resort one morning and on the beach at Malibu days later. Now let's go to Treasure Island, where Alan Martin's been pursuing the mystery behind the barge for days now. Alan?
Yeah, Ken, we filed a Freedom of Information Act request with the Coast Guard concerning this barge here on Treasure Island. It's sitting back there in the water about where those floodlights are. In the meantime, documents released in Portland, Maine concerning a second sort of a sister ship to this barge. Those documents reveal that the Coast Guard there back in May met with a Google Glass executive to review construction plans. It is a lot of secrecy, but some are saying that the mystery for Google is the mastery.
It is an unusual sight, and it has captured the attention of many people. A mystery barge anchored along the Portland waterfront. WMTW News 8's Jim Keithley is on the case, trying to solve the mystery behind who owns the structure. He joins us now live from the studio. Jim?
Well, Steve, it's really shaping up to be a real who's done it, or in this case, who owns it. It looks like another hotel being built along Portland's waterfront, but upon closer inspection, you see that these are shipping containers welded together. It's 4 stories tall, and right now it's floating on a barge. Now, we know that the construction company Chimbro owns Riggers Wharf.
We've heard through the media and so on that it's Google, that it's some type of hub that they have, and it's a mobile data center rather, and there's another one on the West Coast. So if that's what it is, it is. I'd love to know, but I can clearly understand why it's been more secret.
It is true, there was a near-identical barge out in San Francisco Bay. Our emails to the search engine giant Google have gone unanswered, no surprise there. So the people behind this unusual-looking barge and the reason for it being here in Maine will remain a mystery, for now at least. Live in Portland, WMTW.
We're revealing a mile-high mystery in the Denver sky. A strange object, caught on camera, flying over the city, and nobody can explain what it is. Whether you believe in UFOs or not, you'll want to see this video. Fox 31 Denver investigative reporter Heidi Hammett is here to explain. Heidi?
Well, when I first saw this video, I have to admit I was skeptical. One of our viewers first alerted us to this unusual object that appears to launch and land in the metro area. Tonight, an aviation expert tells us it's unlike anything he has ever seen. It's not a bird.
Keep going up, and up, and up.
It's not a plane.
Here it's flipping around.
Even this aviation expert is mystified.
And tonight, the FBI is scrambling to solve a mystery in the heartland. Drivers warned to be vigilant as they make their way home because of 13 separate shootings on highways around Kansas City. Cars riddled with bullets terrified families inside. And tonight, authorities are trying to detect the pattern. ABC senior justice correspondent Pierre Thomas has the latest.
Tonight, federal agents have joined the hunt for a possible spree shooter who's been terrorizing the Kansas City area. Police sources say some of the 13 shootings are connected.
Kansas City police are determined to find out if they have a serial shooter, like the 2002 Washington snipers who paralyzed this entire region for weeks.
You're right on the edge of someone getting killed. Anytime you have a random shooter with no reason or mindset behind them that's just taking rounds and putting them in the cars is causing a problem for everyone.
Well, now back to that mysterious missile launch. The bright light could easily be seen up in LA, but tonight we're still trying to figure out what it was.
News 8's Marcella Lee did some digging and joins us with how tough it was to find an answer. Marcella?
Beverly and Carlo, we put in a lot of calls to the Navy and Air Force tonight about this, an incredible missile launch off the coast of LA around 5 p.m. But so far, no one seems to know anything about the this launch.
Update for you on our top story. We've got breaking news coming in with respect to a mystery behind the missile launch out over the West Coast.
Well, right now, what looks like a mystery missile. The U.S. military saying the American homeland was never in danger, but not saying much more about this.
That mysterious streak seen over the West Coast on Monday, it was caught on video, but so far, no one really knows what it is exactly, including the government. CBS News national security correspondent David Martin is at the Pentagon and has the latest. David, good morning.
Good morning, Harry. You're right. The Pentagon is still not sure what that was in the sky off the coast of California, except that it was not a missile fired by the U.S. or some other country.
Black bodies swinging in the southern breeze.
2, 1, ignition.
Strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees. Blood on the leaves.
"36 hours after the video of the mystery missile went viral, the Pentagon, with all its satellites, radars, and command centers, finally put it to rest. Sort of.
All of those factors together leave us pretty confident that this was a contrail caused by an aircraft.
It's a jet, isn't it?
It's a jet. In other words, you look at all the dots and you take the simplest line that goes across all the dots, and that's a jet. Sorry for all you conspiracy bugs.
Well, I'm sure they were having fun with it. We were enjoying the video, but I can tell you're very smart. You know exactly what you're talking about. But at the end of this program, I'm going to show them what it really is. It's aliens. But I'm going to show them how it works.
One of the biggest mysteries in the history of passenger planes, the Air France jumbo jet, which simply vanished over the Atlantic Ocean 3 years ago. 228 people on board, including 6 Americans. ABC's Elizabeth Vargas has spent a year unraveling exactly what happened, and tonight she has new detail about chaos in the cockpit and the passengers in the final minutes.
It took 6 hours for authorities to notice that Air France Flight 447 had disappeared, and there was no sign anyone on board knew they were about to crash. No oxygen masks were deployed, no life vests, and there was no announcement on board to brace for impact. Relatives of the victims have often wondered, Diane, that if somebody had noticed the plane was missing sooner, there might have been someone to save.
What a report this is, Elizabeth. Thank you. And I want everyone to know that you can see more of Elizabeth's reporting on a special edition of Nightline, Vanished, the Mystery of Flight 447.
Welcome back to Reliable Sources. The story of Malaysia Air 370 is incredible. It's a mystery. It's one of the biggest mysteries any of us has ever seen. It's also incomprehensible. A plane full of people simply vanished.
Literally minutes ago. We know that researchers have been studying it now for a matter of weeks, but I just want to play this for you off of my phone. Like I said, it just came in. I'm going to play it for you twice, and you're going to have to possibly turn up your volume to listen. So let's try it first. Just a 6-second file. I'm going to play it one more time. And you're listening to basically sound recorded from an underwater listening device, a hydrophone. And you may be wondering after hearing that noise, as I did, listening to it several times, okay, how would researchers be able to tell that what this is possibly connected to? Well, what we know is that this underwater hydrophone is located off Rottnest Island. It's very close to Stirling Naval Base, very close to the coast of Western Australia. So this is thousands of kilometers away from the area where this acoustic event occurred. But we know that noise...
From the poplar trees. From the poplar trees.
I spoke shortly before question time to Prime Minister Najib Razak of Malaysia. He asked that Australia take responsibility for the search in the southern vector, which the Malaysian authorities now think was one possible flight craft for this ill-fated. Australia will do its duty in this matter. We will do our duty to ensure that our search and rescue responsibilities are maintained and upheld. And we will do our duty to the families of the 230 people on that aircraft who are still absolutely devastated by their absence and who are still profoundly saddened by this as yet unfathomed mystery.
Business has then used that technology to create countless new jobs. So the founders of Google got their early support from the National Science Foundation. The Apollo project that put a man on the moon also gave us eventually CAT scans. And every dollar we spent to map the human genome has returned $140 to our economy. $1 of investment, $140 in return. Dr. Collins helped lead that genome effort. And that's why we thought it was appropriate to have him here to announce the next great American project, and that's what we're calling the Brain Initiative. And the most powerful computer in the world isn't nearly as intuitive as the one we're born with. There's this enormous mystery waiting to be unlocked. The Brain Initiative will change that by giving scientists the tools they need to get a dynamic picture of the brain in action and better understand how we think and how we learn and how we remember. And that knowledge will be transformative. In the budget I will send to Congress next week, I will propose a significant investment by the National Institutes of Health, DARPA, and the National Science Foundation to help get this project off the ground. We're also partnering with the private sector, including leading companies and foundations and research institutions, to tap the nation's brightest minds to help us reach our goal. And of course, none of this will be easy. If it was, we'd already know everything there was about how the brain works, and presumably my life would be simpler here. Could explain all kinds of things that go on in Washington. We could prescribe something.
Cell phone video that made national headlines immediately following the deadly theater shootings. A dazed, bloody man stumbling.
He's been a mystery man. People were trying to figure out who he is and how he's doing. Well, now we know.
There he is. It's right there. Police is going there.
This video played on every network over and over after the mass shooting in this theater in Aurora, Colorado.
I kept seeing it on television and I just couldn't get it out of my mind. And he looks like he's kind of weak. He's like, to me, like he's dazed.
Jesse Rossborough was looking at his son on the cell phone video and didn't know it. His sister-in-law from Gary, Indiana called to tell him.
She said, "Did you see Dion?" And I said, "Dion?" I said, "No." So Dion was the person that got shot.
Dion is Jesse's son and Olivia's stepson.
He was in shock. He was in a coma and they had life support on him, and he was thinking about pulling the life support so he could wake up. He was in a coma and they had life support on him, and he was thinking about pulling the life support so he could wake up. He was in a coma and they had life support on him, and he was thinking about pulling the life support so he could wake up.